Got it. Got it. I was making, there we go. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I bet that you are probably not awake. I'm willing to bet that you were like, it's Thanksgiving. Jackie, what are you doing? And why are you doing this? And I'm asleep. That is perfectly fine. I think you should get your rest. It's probably much needed, or you might be in the household where you have been tasked to help cook, clean, or socialize, um, be a greeter, whatever that means. Either way, I did want to take this time today to express. Let me see over here. Y'all needed that, or maybe you didn't need that. To express some gratitude. So I am Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 93rd District. Cleaning y'all up over, I'm cleaning them up over here on Facebook and stuff. I did want to take time today to say gratitude. I know that it is a season. Good morning, Tamika Walton on on LinkedIn. I was trying to figure out why I wasn't seeing LinkedIn messages, but they are coming through now. So great. Um, I wanted to take space on Thanksgiving to say something a friend of mine said to me the other day. And what happens in this work is sometimes we get into the humdrum and or people get so either very happy with us or so frustrated with us that we don't realize the relationship that we probably should have in this work as people and as elected. Her name is Beck G, and I was on the phone with her the other day, and she says to me, Jackie, I am taking a government class. And we're older people now. She said, I'm taking a government class, and they really didn't care about the government or voting or any of these things. But as I'm a older woman taking the government class, I realized that what political people do, what politicians do, is you make Thanksgiving dinner. Like you choose whether or not we have a macaroni, and if we do have a macaroni, is it watered down macaroni or is it cheesy macaroni? You choose if we're having steak, if we're having. Oh, I would love some steak. You choose if we're having steak. You choose if we're having turkey. You make it. You all make sit up and you make the whole meal, and then we consume it. And I was like, girl, yeah, we do. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, you see at the bottom of the screen, it's scrolling. I'm going to say screen, it's scrolling. And I'll say this for Instagram is that on January 10th, I will be going up to legislative session. When I say legislative session, that means I'm going up to Richmond to start doing lawmaking. And when that happens, it is comparable to being a part of making the ingredients that you all will consume that will alter your life, whether you know it or not. So if it's something like me, I'm making a meal that has to do with the way we interrogate youth. I believe that too, Tamika. Like I was like, that was to me, it hit me hard because what a responsibility it is to provide nourishment to people. Like as a mother, I think I've thought about that so much and been so afraid, also very anxious written about what I am or am not feeding my kid, or if I am or am not feeding my little citizens enough or the right things. But to be responsible, to have that level of responsibility, I want to say to the 12,000 some odd people that said yes to me, to the many others that just show up and are just like, how can I help, to the 51 volunteers, and then the season of people over the years guiding me towards this responsibility of cooking up essentially Thanksgiving gratitude. I think there's a space and there's a place for that. But I also think in the responsibility of making the meal, there's a piece that you all have as food critics. Take it a step further. As food critics, you get to decide like what restaurants are hot or not. Like what meals are hot and or not. What we continue to eat, right? So if somebody is serving up feces on a plate and we keep eating feces, I think collectively there's a responsibility to be like we don't really want to eat feces and you keep feeding us poop like it's chocolate ice cream. We don't want that. We don't want that. So in that analogy, I think it's a huge responsibility, but I'm hoping that you all see a way, that you feel a way that you can be. You do not have to be chef whoever, right? Or if the prestigious food critic from wherever. I guess when we consider that the elite, the wealthy, and things like that, you don't have to be that in order to be participatory. And while I'm thankful that you show up here, this is your space. It's super important. I want you to choose. I want you to choose to, as you consume, critique the food, right? So as we interact with laws, critique that stuff. Because there are people like me that are just serving it up. Just serving it up. And for real. Now, as I say here, good morning, happy Thanksgiving. Tamika said we have to show up and play our part. Over here, Tamika Walton on LinkedIn. Hey, Tamika, what's in your house? Good. Said we have to show up and play our part. What's important to know, and I think as people who, as I'm saying, yeah, if I, the politician, am making the Thanksgiving meal, and you, the citizen, are consuming that Thanksgiving meal, your part could be as simple as taking one bite. It could be as massive as setting the table. And that there is no small thing when you're interfacing with this work, right? It's a series of small things that make it better. So don't feel like, I just don't want you all feel like there's a barrier to entry, because there is not one. You deserve to be a part of this thing that we do. As a matter of fact, if I am making the meal and you are consuming the meal, you went to the store and bought the ingredients. Do you know what I'm saying? You all went to the store and bought the ingredients. And so when we decide to throw a whole lot of salt in it, because you bought salt, we just gonna throw the whole, like that's the thing. You all are the ones making the ingredients. And I'm so grateful to be in the kitchen. Quite frankly, to be in the kitchen. It is a super amazing opportunity. So this edition today may be a little bit different, I know, because we're talking. I just wanted to come on today to share space, to express gratitude, to share with y'all what my friend shared with me. So some of what I did want to take time to do today, because it's not a heavy, I wouldn't want to know heavy policy or anything as we walk into our Thanksgiving or whatever it is you do, because you might be me and I'm just like, really no. I'd like you to share in the comments, if you can, what are you going to talk about today at Thanksgiving? Or what do you hope doesn't get talked about? That's a thing sometimes where people are like, please don't talk about no politics, don't talk about church, don't talk about no kids, don't talk about... I want to know what you're going to talk about today, but I also want to know what you're going to be intentional about today. So is it intent for time with people? Is there intent to finish up that project? Or whatever it is, I want you to be intent. Happy Thanksgiving, Kezia. She said, funny, I looked at my salt this morning and said, oh boy, I'm going to need more salt. Yes. And while you think about what you're going to talk about or what you're not going to talk about, I want to share with some people that are, maybe this is your first time walking into the morning dew for certified doers, right? That's what we call this. Welcome to the morning dew for certified doers, just like you. Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, and the laced up legislator. I said that already. What is the morning dew? Why do we do the morning dew? And how did I end up here? I am a come here and you can ask me anything. I'm trying to stay away from policy too much today. So you can ask me anything if you'd like. And if you're watching the replay, then hey, I'll come back and answer the question. I got time today. I got time today, sort of. Maybe I'm probably going to work today. I'm not going to lie. So I am a come here, not a from here. If you don't know, I'm originally from the Chicagoland area, particularly a south suburb called Chicago Heights, particularly an area called Beacon Hill. And I was, and I just want to, put a trauma warning on all of this because my story is born of as an adult of exchanging my trauma for change, right? So I was a pretty active high schooler, did a lot of activities, student count, everything. Like I did everything. I had 5 siblings. I'm the middle of 5. And I never really made space to be at home. It just wasn't a thing for me. I just wanted to make sure that I always had something to do. My mom would say, like, she's just always doing something. We're just always doing something. And that's absolutely true. I see questions coming in. I'm going to tell my little story and then I'm going to answer all the questions in the chat. Okay. So I thought that I was going to go to college, was not able to do that in an economical and the best way I thought, where I wouldn't be a burden to anyone. But my senior year of high school, I was sexually assaulted by a classmate of mine. And that shifted my entire world, the entire dynamic of who I thought I was and what I thought I was going to do. It was the first incident, or excuse me, not this first, it was the second incident in my life where I felt like I was seeking justice in a system that didn't necessarily care for what I looked like. So in that situation, because of my little super sleuthness, right? The fact that I've been told my whole life I talk too much and I don't know how to mind my own business, I found other girls that the young man had assaulted and got them to come forward. Because I was in a space where, it was more believable for this black boy to assaulted these white girls and not necessarily me. Their cases were prosecuted, mine was not, but I was there for theirs. That is what sort of got me wrapped up in showing up and allowing and exchanging my trauma for change, right? And it has been a series of those things. And has it been hard? Yeah, years of therapy, years of no therapy. But it led me to join the Navy, which was the fastest way to get out of town. It was the fastest way. It was the easiest, the quickest, the fastest way to get out of town. I joined the Navy. I was a cryptologist for 11 years, saw the world, did all the things, and then had to deal with a lot of, you guys probably know, there's a lot of racism, sexism, all these things in the military, which led me to leave the military. So I left after 11 years. It was affecting my mental and my physical health, what I was going through in the military. And so I decided to leave in 2013. I got out, took a crap job, just did whatever, actually, let me not say crap. It was an amazing job. It didn't pay well. It was an amazing job. I was working for the Fleet Family Support Center. Did not pay well. Had my son in Virginia Beach school system. It was a very bad experience for me because of the neighborhood that we were in. It was a very affluent neighborhood, which caused a lot of problems for myself and my family. I lived in Virginia Beach for a year, had to get out of Dodge, came to Norfolk. And once I had my kids in private school, once I got them into public school, and my son was in middle school, started having issues, right? And so remember, I'm a justice seeker, not always for myself, but sometimes for the people around me. There were some issues, and I started showing up to school board meetings and talking to people. How do I add value? And I ended up running for school board. Amazing experience. And then I kept pecking at it, became a civic league president. And then I ran for city council, and I was like, I ran for city council, and I tell everybody, and I mean this, I ran to talk shit. And then I had to start taking it seriously. And then the rest is history. The person who ran for this office resigned. I didn't want to do it. I don't know if y'all know this. Some people do. Like, I was like, I am not running for delegate. It is not happening. I do not want to do party politics. No, shut it down. I was like, nah. And it took my husband in the ninth hour sort of having a hard conversation with me for me to say yes. I think it is different when you run for office and you have a support system and you're being asked to do it more so than when you're doing it like I was doing it because I was mad. I was doing it because I was going to be pissy and all these things. But yeah, that's what sort of led me here. So I'm going to answer some of y'all questions. And remember, this is space. You can ask whatever you like or tell me what you're going to be talking about or what you're going to be intentional about for this holiday weekend. So Tamika, you said she's going to do I'm going to be intentional with creating some embroidery projects with some moving so my crafts can get on the back burner. You're going to create today. I love you. I don't know if you can see my shirt, Tamika. Hold on, I'm going to show you my shirt. I bought this a long time ago, and it says, "Make art, not war." And it's got this girl with a crown on it. Make art, not war. Let's do it. Glorify the creative spirit. There's a creative in all of us, and we have to take that creative on a date. There's a book I would recommend too, Tamika, because it's like a journal. It's almost like a 12-step program for creative people, which everyone is. It's called The Artist Way. And I love The Artist Way. I think it's a dope book. It makes you journal and create these habits about just getting centered on your creative self. I love it. Mr. Bill Jones, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. You're going to sit this morning with a relative in a long-term stay. Tara, I love it. I love it. Yes. I thought about trying to get up and get back over to, I spent some time over at Autumn Care off of Princess Anne on Veterans Day. I spent some time over there. And so I was thinking, maybe I should try to make some time to go over there. I met some people that have family that are away. And so I'm grateful. I guess I say that to say that I'm grateful that you are able to share space with your relative in that way, even if they don't appreciate it. Because I had an uncle that was in long-term stay and he was a humdinger. My uncle was a mamma jamma, okay? You never knew if he was going to be ready to fight you or he was going to be ready to hug you. So thank you for that, Bill. Happy Thanksgiving, Lamont. I appreciate you. Okay, Kezia, I have a question. How will you balance family and policy making? This is a great question. Something I was talking about last night with a bunch of people about how challenging it is. One, because we're a part-time legislator with full-time problems, right? So I don't do this for the work. I just say loudly to people, I make $17,640. That's like the thing, so that you all know. That's my annual salary for doing all of this. But I'm not, which causes a bit of stress because I'm not funded to be, I'm funded to be an opportunity and not necessarily a solution. I'm not the best at fundraising. So I'm always in a state of all right, I'm not gonna be able to pay my staff. Can I do this? So there's a lot of time, a lot of mental capital, more so than dollar capital, that's also spent on policy making and building. And I'm also neurotic. So getting it right and what is right and who says it's right. Did we talk to the right amount of people? So I spend a lot of time, and then I think about my son and am I going to make it to all of his games? And my daughter, am I going to give her that hug that I'm supposed to give her before she gets on the bus? How do I do it? So I have a calendar, and I know that it's weird. I have a calendar where on that calendar, I schedule everything. Everything. My personal calendar has a space on it that says, hug your head. All right. If you're upset with your husband, see, everybody knows this calendar, so I'm gonna whisper a little bit. If you're upset with your spouse, all right, today you need to do X, because I'm weird. I'm just gonna say that I'm kind of a weird person. As it was explained to me by my lovely spouse, I am an adult, I am a toddler, and I am a teenager all in one thing. That's a lot. That's a lot. So the balance comes in scheduling. And so it leaves very little time for other things. So in that family balance, what I'm learning is that I have to have I'm learning my personal balance. One thing I do on Fridays is I typically don't schedule anything because I spend that time with my spouse because that's one of his 2 days off because he works on Sundays. I have not, I chose to not miss a game if I can help it for my son and to not miss a recital and to dance in the kitchen K-pop with my daughter, like intentionally. So there's a lot of intentional acts that I feel like create the small moments that are accumulative of these people in my life that I think are important to me. When I think about balance in family life, I think about how I want them to remember me. And I want my daughter to remember I always try to connect. So whether it's knowing K-pop or saying hello to her in Korean or doing all these things, my son knowing that I loved him even when he's full of shit. So like when he's all that, I kiss, I hug him, I'm obnoxious. And then with my husband, I think he needs to know I'm his wife, I'm his sister, I'm his parent, just as he is my husband, my brother, and my parent in the same role. So like that's how I find balance and trying to be those things. And the little calendar. That was a long answer. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, next, Tamika said, I'm going to talk about the need to continue to come together as a family and love on each other. Yeah. How we going to do it? I think that's the thing to Kizia's question is like, how we going to do it? When we going to do this again? And it doesn't have to be a holiday. For sure. For sure. Kizia says, I think I want to talk about different ways to create family traditions. Oh my goodness. I'm going to see if I can find it. I have this book that talks about creating your own family traditions, right? What's your thing? Because I think that traditions don't have to be centered on holidays. They don't have to be centered on celebrations or anything. This is this is centered on a celebration, but we used to do a thing where for birthdays for the kids when Toys R Us was still around, this is so fun because it creates fatigue and it's purposely done. A tradition we used to do is we would take whoever birthday it was, we'd take them to Toys R Us. I don't care how old they are. They could be 3 years old. I don't care. And they have to walk the entire store and they can pick one thing that they want. One. And so we would walk the entire, I don't care, again, if we have to, even if you're 13, we're going to walk through the baby toys. We're going to do all of that. And so there's this level of fatigue and it makes them focus on what stands out to them. And the first time I did it, we had custody of my niece. And I think Toy Story was really proper. And she picked this $16 out of the entire Toys R Us. And if you are a Toys R Us kid, like I'm a Toys R Us kid, you're thinking of all the stuff you would have picked. This Slinky, that dog, that Slinky dog, that was $16.99. I said, that's all you want? Me and my partner at the time, my husband, looked at each other. We were like, and he was like, not a damn Slinky. That's what she wanted, get the Slinky. And she was happy as a clam. And we did that for all the kids. So family tradition. So I'd like to know from you guys, just based off of, Kizia's questions are, when you think about family traditions, what comes to mind? What are you going to do? With this office, I'm trying to create a tradition, right? I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the thing that we do annually, the thing that we do to pull people together. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to figure it out. We got 2 more minutes. Thank you, Mr. Jones. You take care. Many blessings. There are resources, if you haven't already seen them, resources on our Instagram and Facebook for all the many things if you need to share. Lastly, I do want to say I'm going to do a call for this every time that I have this conversation. I'm always on the lookout for housing resources. It's the thing that keeps me up at night. Many people have a list of people that are being either evicted or on the brink of eviction or underhoused, meaning, they have a place, but just it's not enough for the way life is. If you have any housing resources, please don't hesitate to send them to our office. Many places have exhausted resources, and I'm really sad for that. And it's causing me stress. So if You got something? You got something? Don't hesitate to share. Okay. What are we gonna do for this last minute? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I stole a biscuit. I know they're for dinner, but I stole it. Ain't nobody else. Who gonna tell on me? Y'all gonna tell on me? Don't tell on me. But let me go ahead and plug the way life is. As a reminder, if you have a bill idea, November 30th is the last day that we can take anything on. Can't do anything after that. I need y'all to know and understand that. Secondly, again, if you're scrolling, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, scrolling at the bottom of your screen is is the email and information for our office. It also says session starts January 10th, right? I want us to remember this. Put this in your mind. The second Wednesday in the year. The second Wednesday. Don't be a snitch, Kezia. Listen, Kezia over here says she's gonna tell on me. Don't be telling. Okay, I understand if you have to tell. Okay. I understand. And you call my mama right now. January 10th through March 11th. That is the time, y'all, that we go up to make the laws. What I do want you all to be thinking about, right, over this time, like how we spend and how we do together. I want to share that experience with you going up to the Capitol. I want to do that. So if there's something that you feel like, hey, Jackie, when you're at the Capitol, is there any way you can take time to do this? Maybe it's like, hey, I want to see what the governor's mansion looks like. Or can you walk us through the process of X, Y, or Z, or whatever that is? Please drop us a line here, you can DM us, you can, as the information scrolls across the bottom, you can do all of that. I just need to know, right? I need to know that that's the kind of content that you're looking for. We are going to be educating y'all. It's going to be, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be fun. We're going to make it fun. Okay? Do you hear me? You and me and you and I. Because I should have said you and I. Let me do that again. You and I. We're going to make this fun. We're going to teach a whole lot of people a whole lot of different things. We're going to work on being present in a way that is helpful. So y'all better get ready. And I'm going to need you to engage. And just like y'all got up here today, when we start making more content while we're in session, I'm going to need you to engage. Okay? I'm going to need it because it's going to be a funny money place. It's going to be a funny money place. I want to leave this. And since you just texted my mother to tell I stole a biscuit, let me finish it real quick. I stole a biscuit. I'm sorry. I was hungry this morning. I want to say that being people rich has been the highlight of my ish, right? Like it has been. And you all see me in the streets, and you're like, Jackie, you're so great. Yeah, you're so da-da-da-da. Let me tell you this. There's absolutely no way that I could possibly do what I do if I don't have a good support system. So I just want to remind you that when people like myself show up, and I know you think we're great, and I know you think, I do, and I appreciate it because sometimes I need it. Sometimes I feel like I ain't nothing but a piece of, you know what, or as my father used to call me, I ain't nothing but a hemorrhoid. I used to think that. I need you to understand that it is people behind, like people on my side that have my back, that remind me of things. I even say particularly, y'all don't know, y'all think I'm great. Y'all don't know how much my husband put up with. I told y'all earlier. I told y'all what we agreed on. Adult, toddler, and teenager. It's a lot. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have those people in my life. Oh, Lamont, I love this. Okay, before we go, we got something. Okay, so the One Umadai Project would love to come to the floor. Okay, you guys ready for this? I think, okay, so I'm just going to say this. So most of the debating that we're going to have on the House floor is probably going to happen in January-ish timeframes, right? Like probably late January, early February, because that's when the bills are in flux. So if you want to see a debate, or if I'm looking for it, I would look to coming to the Capitol towards the end of January, the top of February, because we have this date that's called crossover, right? At crossover, that means all the House bills go to the Senate, all the Senate bills go to the House. And there oftentimes is some really good debate. Here's the cool part about what's happening in the General Assembly is we are tight. In the House, it is a 51 to 49 split. Get your popcorn. It's a 1 vote split, y'all. 51 to 49 split. So the House is yours. I am inviting everyone up for Certified Doers Day, which is March 6th. March 6th is Certified Doers Day. You're welcome to come up then. On January 23rd, we have creatives on the TAC Capitol. So a lot of creatives from around the Commonwealth are going to descend on the cap. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. Can't do that no more, January 6th. So a lot of creatives from across the Commonwealth are going to come to the Capitol to advocate for creativity and all these other things. So it should be a good opportunity for us to connect the dots, but I would love it. And Mr. Lamont, if you want to connect with my office, let's pick a day and see if I can make sure that I at least introduce you all on the floor, introduce you all work and what you're doing on the floor and all of that. So let's coordinate, okay? If you guys decide to come to the Capitol, hey, let me know so that I can make sure I have a team that will take a lot of the meetings that I'm having. But if we know that you are a person that we pre-scheduled, we need to get with, I will try to make sure I'm available if I'm not in committee or I'm not presenting a bill or I'm not doing all that other stuff. Oh, I'm getting nervous just talking about it, y'all. It's almost here. Session's almost here. Okay, anyway. Happy Thanksgiving if that's your thing. Happy time off if that's your thing. Happy Netflix and chill, or just chill, or embroidery time. Glorify the creative spirit. Find a way to take care of that kid inside of you, because we are all children. We are. Grateful to be here, grateful to serve, and I will catch you guys next Thursday, same time, same place. I also wanted to make clear, December 9th, I think it is. It's either December 9th or December 7th, whichever is that first Thursday in December is the last live I'm going to do, okay? I'm saying that because I do need the respite. I do need the space to prepare for session. They will start back up at the top of the year, and then we'll be rolling into session, y'all. We'll be like Tina Turner, big wheels. All right. Sound good? In the interim, if you think of things, drop them in the comments. If you have questions, you have comments, drop them in the comments. When you send a message to our office on social and you get that reply that gives you an email address or a phone number, those are very valid email address and phone numbers. If it is urgent, please use that email address and phone number. I do not always get to check social and see what's going on in the box. Okay. So I ask for your grace and I ask for your patience, and I ask if it's urgent. Please use the tools. Please use the tools. Please use the tools. Okay. Keep sending housing resources my way because we need them. Until next time, this has been the Morning Dew with certified doers just like you and you and you. And I'm so grateful that we share this space. I'm Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet. What am I? I lost my train of thought. Mama, Navy vet, certified doer. That's it. It was that thing that I was just telling you were. Certified doer and the Lastow legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. I'm still trying to figure out what shoes I'm going to wear the first day. So help me out. All right. Be well. Happy Thanksgiving. See y'all.